What is empathy? Or rather, what is an empath? A lot of people still don't know what an empath is. They still have not heard the term empathy. I can't tell you how many times I mention to someone that I'm an empath, and they look at me and they're like, well, what is that? And they've literally never heard of it. I mean, they know what the general term empathy means, but they've never heard of being an empath. And a lot of times what I find, because people have not heard about it a lot, they tend to doubt it, of course. They tend to doubt whether it exists, as though they're doubting something that they can't see. Well, actually, empathy has been scientifically proven. It was scientifically proven back in, I believe it was 2004, with an experiment that they did using monkeys. And there's other experiments that have been done since then that prove empathy even with plants. Empathy is the ability to feel another's emotions, and it goes beyond emotions, but on a basic level, to feel another's emotions as though it were your own. So, for example, someone that I'm not in the presence of is feeling really down and really sad about something. Maybe they went through a breakup and they're feeling really sad and they're feeling really depressed. Now, maybe I'm physically located 20 miles or more from them, and I pick up that feeling that they have. I mean, and I literally pick it up as though it's mine, as though I am the one that's depressed. And the way I may pick it up, I may actually pick that feeling up with that exact feeling of, oh, I feel like no one loves me. Oh, I feel like no one cares. No one wants me. I may actually pick it up to that extent, and that's usually how empathy manifests. We don't just pick up the feeling. It's not a general, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, I'm sad. No, it goes a step further than that. An empath actually will pick up more specific things about what it's about. So they may first feel a little down or depressed, but then following picking up that feeling, they'll actually start to feel more specifics like, oh, for some reason I'm just feeling like nobody cares about me. And they may even throughout the day respond to people with that feeling. They may be in a conversation with someone and may in their mind actually start thinking, oh, this person doesn't care about me, because of what they're picking up through that empathic connection with that other person who is actually the one who is depressed. And that's basically how empathy works. And yes, it does exist. It's not just something that was made up for a Star Trek, Star Trek episodes. It's not just a character, a character's profile that is fiction. It is actually real. And many people have a hard time believing that. And, I mean, I understand that. Unless you are an empath, unless you've actually experienced this, it would be very hard for you to imagine that something like this does exist, that there are so many people in the world who experience this on a day-to-day basis, where this is their lives, this is their reality of constantly picking up feelings and emotions from others. But this is the reality of many in the world. And so my goal has been to educate people on empathy, on empaths, on whether or not they may be an empath. And I feel this is not only for the empaths, this is also for the people who aren't empaths. Because guess what? Even if you're not an empath, why would you want to know about empathy? Because I bet you have several friends who are empaths. Now, the subject may not have come up because, I mean, this isn't something that just comes up out of the blue that you would start chatting with someone about. But I bet you have many friends who are empaths. I mean, you can test the theory. Take 5 friends. Ask 5 of your friends if they've ever heard of empathy. And out of the 5, see how many tell you that yes, they've heard of empathy, and yes, in fact, they are an empath. You might be pleasantly, well, I don't know if pleasantly, but you might be surprised. So this isn't just about help for the empaths. The education of empathy is about educating also the non-empaths, because you've got friends who are empaths that may be struggling with this. You've got friends who are empaths that actually may have on so many occasions actually picked up your emotions and have struggled with it, but maybe didn't know what it was, or maybe just didn't say anything to you, didn't want to freak you out. But that's my purpose, and that is my goal, is to educate as many people as I can about empathy, whether they are an empath or not. And so I hope to do many more audio recordings like this, so that it'll be a way for you to pass it around to friends, or if a friend asks you about it, you can point them to the audio and say, oh, well, listen to this, it gives a good explanation. That's if you think it's a good explanation. And I hope to bring you many more, and I hope you enjoy them. Thank you for listening.